I'm addictive and expensive. Byron Wilcott. And I'm watching WGS-TV.
Welcome back to another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestlingGamer, and it's the second installment of the WGS-TV anime reviews here on youtube.com/WrestlingGamer, and as we continue on with Sekirei Episode 2, which is entitled The Door to the New Residence. Now, there's one thing I want to everybody to know about the way they call their episodes here in the series of Sekirei. They call them feathers. But I think, for review purposes only, that we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna call them episodes instead of feathers. But if you guys go out and get the series, whether you watch it on Netflix or you get them on DVDs, they're gonna call them feathers. So let's go ahead and pick up where we last left off. And that's pretty much where the episode picks up is Musubi and Minato were out in the air above the moon, which was a great finish, but and then we get the awkward moment because Musubi really tells Minato that she has no way knowing on she didn't plan on how they were going to land, and they were like way up in the air above the clouds and everything like that, and so they start plummeting to the earth, and next thing you know, we see a silhouette of a green girl flying up in the air, and then they land in a tree, and they end up falling. Despite being injured, they were both okay. But next thing you know, this lady with purple hair comes out and wants to know what's going on. Then she sees Minato and Musubi. They were both hurt, and she takes them both in, and he starts introducing each other. We get more characters into the story. Now we have Miya Hasuma, and we have Kagari, and another person they get introduced to while Miss Miya had invited Minato and Musubi to dinner that night is the fact that her name was Uzume, and just like Musubi, Uzume really doesn't have that much modesty. And the way they pretty much present her, I don't see why not. She wouldn't have that much modesty. I mean, gaga. That's all I'm going to say. Next thing you know, Minato poses the question to Miss Miya, wondering, what kind of residence they were, and it was a boarding house, and which is, perfect because, as we all remember in the last episode, Minato and Musubi are kind of homeless. They need a place to stay, and Miss Miya Hazuma says, she lives by the same motto as her late husband did, and to never turn anyone away. And now Minato and Musubi have a place to live now, so they have to go back to their apartment. They have to clean out, and out pops Minato's sister. If you guys will have to pardon me for a second if I try to remember her name correctly, but keep in mind these are Japanese names, so give me as much credit as you can as I try to go through this interview. But what basically is, she comes out, and in the last episode, Musubi was kind of short on clothes, so Minato had called his sister to come and send some clothes, and instead of sending them, she comes personally. But as we all remember, Minato has failed his college entrance exam twice, but Minato's sister fared just a wee bit better and got into a college. So she comes out, and basically, let's just say this: I don't know which way she swings. That's all I'm gonna say. Because as they were, saying their goodbyes from the apartment, and Minato's sister was, heading towards the college where she was going to check out, she kind of gives Musubi a pat on the nose, and said next time they would have to take a bath together. That kind of went really. Anyway, they got everything packed up into a giant place and a giant bag or something. And next thing you know, Musubi picks it up, and then we find out just what exactly Musubi is. She's what's called a fist type Sekirei, and apparently with a fist type Sekirei, it comes with a lot of strength. Enjoy my Coke Zero. Tastes better than regular Coke. Anyway, enough plugging. Anyway, yeah, Musubi is a fist type Sekirei, and then Minato asks Musubi what was that those strange words that she was saying before they, Musubi formed a tornado and they end up leaping into the air. Apparently, with every emerged Sekirei, there's an incantation for them to say, which actually invokes their special powers. And everyone, they have... Excuse me 1 second here, guys. Apologize about that. I'm just trying to check the time here because I'm on a certain time limit here. But anyway, as I was saying, apparently, every Sekirei, every emerged Sekirei has an incantation for their Ashikabi. Remember that Ashikabi is the destined master for that certain Sekirei, as we all know that Minato is the Ashikabi for Musubi. So they finally get to the residence, and they start getting everything set up, and we find out that Kagari has a job at a host club, and one can only assume that's people over in Japan have that kind of stuff, where ladies go out to a club and they can pick a guy and the guy treats her to like a date and food and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But anyway, Musubi was kind of questioning a host club, and Minato kind of throws out there saying how would you like you would like it if a good-looking guy like that would do that to you, and Musubi retorts, yeah, especially if it was you, I'll let you do anything to me. And that's when we find out that Minato's kind of prone to nosebleeds. For those of you who don't get the reference of what I'm talking about, in the anime world, when you get a spontaneous nosebleed, that's a kind of symbolization of where the character gets turned on. And Minato, again, kind of like me, has zero experience in dealing with, that kind of relations and stuff like that. And let's just say this, thank God he knows how to clot, because he kind of bleeds quite a bit through the nose, especially in this entire series. But next thing you know, they get directed towards the bath, and then again Musubi throws out that less than modest question if they want to take a bath together so she can wash his back. And of course Minato kind of freaks out and runs to the outside, so he's going to take a bath later. And next thing you know, Uzume comes into the bathroom again, gaganga, and it gets realized that as soon as they're taking a shower, Uzume sees Musubi's Sekirei symbol on the back of her neck, and then we get the shocking realization that Uzume herself is a Sekirei, and Musubi immediately gets fired up because she wants to have our first Sekirei battle, and they start fighting naked in the bath. And of course Uzume wants nothing to do with the fight, doesn't want to fight at all, and starts running, puts on a towel, and jets out of there. And Musubi nearly jets off without a towel, but then she kind of remembers, gotta remember modesty, gotta remember that. And next thing you know, we see, Uzume jumping on the fence. Minato looks up. Well, let me say this. Before that happened, Minato touches a tree, and then he has a vision of a green girl that's crying out for help. He's trying to reach out to him. We're not really sure what's going on here. But next thing you know, that's when the whole confrontation with Musubi and Uzume starts. And, just when the fight really starts to pick up, that's when Miss Mia, intervenes at by the way, the name of their place is Maison Izumo. And she somehow, with just a gravy ladle, conks Musubi ever so lightly on the head and said one of the main rules of living at Maison Izumu is there are no fighting, and from now on they're going to abide by that rule. But next thing you know, we're still trying to find out more about the situation. Then we see this girl with red hair and glasses in a room full of computer screens, kind of staring at Minato and Musabi. And we found that Musabi has a rank number, and her number is 88. So she's a Sekirei number 88, a fist type. You know, that's the first time I hear it in here. But then, you know, we see Homura and this unusual Sekirei with blonde hair, you know, talking, you know, Thoth, you know, like she's like in the old 1800s English. In England or something like that. Not like thou art, you know, like she's speaking in a Shakespearean play. You know, talking about, you know, vegetation like that. And apparently, this woman has an issue with Homura. And for those of you who really don't know who Homura is Kagari in disguise. You know, I hate to spoil it, you know, if you haven't watched the thing yet, but it's Kagari in disguise. But anyway, then next thing you know, we see in the middle of that vegetation, they start panning out further, and the green girl that he had a vision of is in the middle of that field crying for help. So apparently there's something going on with this green girl. It's quite possible that, you know, she could possibly be a Sekirei. You know, you never know. I mean, we already had several new ones appear, especially in the form of Kagari and Uzume. And of course we had the two twins already. So it's quite possible that we could be looking at that green girl as a Sekirei. You never know. Well, that's going to do it for the episode 2 of the Door to a New Residence. The Door to the New Residence here on Sekirei. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to take a look at episode 3, entitled The Green Girl. So apparently, you can tell just from that title that you're going to have something to do with this green girl, the girl that Minato is, you know, had a vision about when he touched that tree. So, if you guys have any thoughts you'd like to make on the episode, or, you know, if you have any comments you would like to make, or if you have an anime series or a movie you would like me to submit to me, you know, you would like me to see and review here on WGS-TV, be sure you put it in the comment section below. And if you like everything I had to say in this video, be sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. So, with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.